Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is James, and a couple of people wanted me to show off my current Crusader Kings II campaign, so I figured I'd record a tour of what's going on so far. This is a completely randomized kingdom. All cultures, religions, their names, their traits have all been fully randomized. So what I started playing has grown 300 years later into the largest Western empire and pretty much the largest contiguous religion. What we're playing is animal kingdoms, so my emperor is Drake the Missionary of House McDuck of the Everonian Duck people. In addition with that, you can see here we have a rather large dog culture of the entire southern region. Most of the north is dominated by Viking cats with pagan religion. The dogs here are actually a real mix of a couple of different religions. I'll get into that in a moment. And you can find all throughout the far east a mix of horses and dragons. Somewhere around here in the east, there are humans too, but polar bears and hedgehogs crop up amongst all the different cultures and religions in Italy and Slavic nations. But there are a few elephants, but literally the elephant culture has dwindled down to no royal houses. They only crop up as mayors and merchant republic leaders. But our Everonian duck culture here is now the Empire of Calisota. Basic history rundown is that we started off as the pretty much a merger of two petty kingdoms over in the northwestern Iberian Peninsula, 769 AD with Scrooge the First. And I played through that and proceeded to conquer pretty much all of the neighboring eastern kingdoms. And in 901, it was Gladstone the First of Calisota usurped the kingdom of Ancony and reforged the crown of Calonetacenia and became the Empire of Calisota. And yes, that is named after the state that Duckburg from DuckTales was set in. And I will not make apologies for derivative art. Alright, I kind of picture this as like a post-apocalyptic Mutant Year Zero kind of world where everything's just kind of rebuilt civilization to the point of medieval feudalism. So, a funny thing about the religion we have, Lafonetian, it was originally a heresy, a derivative of the Good Boyist religion, who I can't really find too many members who are leading it now. They've pretty much fragmented in the last century or two. But the Good Boyists were originally a dog religion. They still have a pope. And no, the dog pope is not Catholic. He's a good boy. The dog pope's a good boy. I can't make this up. So yeah, they have their own, what does it say here? They worship the divine. Their scripture is the tablets of time, and the Lafonetians' main derivation from that is we follow the tablets of time backwards. So about 901 AD, actually about 12 years after that, Gladstone the First had, I guess, some sort of like a episcopal council that once we took over the two European holy sites here and here on our main peninsula, we got this council and were able to legitimize our religion further to the point that we became the majority religion and the good boys became the heresy. And after that, it's been pretty much clear sailing of ensuring that our empire stays thoroughly Lothanedian, and the good boyists and other heresies, Dragfians, whatnot, just become to the wayside. So it's been kind of been clear sailing since then. So it's 1069 now. How do I jump in here real quick? We just finished fighting off a major adventurer attack, and then following that was a war to reclaim this duchy of Cake here in the north, and it ended up, no, actually that one was the solid one, but this one, yes, the Duchy of Crusader. That war gave him the ownership of that land, but it also included these counties up here, which is what I was not expecting. I'm kind of hoping to just further take some of France over here, and maybe some of the southern lands which we've taken from these infidels. So far, just minor hosts we're fighting off. Probably got a little bit of incongruent borders here with some of my vassals. I have 18 dukes and 3 kings under me. The 3 crowns stayed under the emperor for at least a century until I started having too many direct vassals to manage them properly. My total vassal limit right now is 18, and having too many dukes who directly answer to me is a bit of a problem. So I gave my son the kingdom of Calisota. The Empire of Calisota is still my primary crown, and then other members of my dynasty, McDuck, he's King Face is a distant relative. And then Ankeny had a problem with this guy and a few others. They started a civil war to put some nobody count as the emperor, which I could not deal with because Emperor Drake is a continuous line of relations all the way back to the original Scrooge the First. So that wouldn't fly. I put most of the rebels into prison. Had to put King Arn the Just back in role of managing that kingdom, just because literally no one else of my dynasty was available. But I tortured him and I left him as a eunuch, which was not a decision of mine. I think it just happened, maybe a slip of the torture device or something. But he's got no heir, so it will fall back to my other family member, Duke Daffy II of Honkerland. So on that death, this Kingdom of Ankeny will expand down to that territory du jour. So, I might have to form a new kingdom around all these lands for administrative purposes. And besides having a major or great work built, this is the Divine Temple of Time. It's a great cathedral. It gives me prestige and piety every month and improves opinions with members of the church and my dynasty. Improving that so those bonuses increase, but that's going to be probably about 1097 before that finishes. I might just be done with this playthrough at that point in time. I'd like to see how much further it goes into the future. Crusader Kings II ends, was it 435, I think it's the end date, but I might end it before then. The only other problem I have to deal with now, other than these dang cat Viking raiders from the north who keep coming down and attacking or having adventurer hosts steal land from me. I've only lost a couple of counties here and there over the last 3 centuries, and always got them back. I've got a bit of a inheritance issue because my son, King Gladstone of Calisota, has not any children. He's, for whatever reason, gone into hiding for a while, and with a spouse that's 35, whose only child is not a legitimate member of my dynasty. I guess she's been legitimized? Nope. So, yeah, he's got nobody who will actually inherit after him. Mr. Nobody, Prince. I'd rather keep it direct lineage here, so it'll be interesting to see what shakes up once it switches over. Emperor Drake right now is 55, pushing elderly age for a while now, but on top of being frail, malnourished, one-handed from a fight. Yeah, I think he was involved in leading some campaigns for a while, and that had to stop. Now he's physically incapable and bedridden and left to his son for regency. So he might die soon, and that will give me some more options to control King Face, crowned emperor at that point, to get a younger spouse who will actually produce some legitimate offspring, or it might cause a bit of an inheritance crisis. So we'll see. I think that's all I want to cover for now. I mean, there's so many randomized cultures and religions and things going on. I've ignored quite a few of them just for the sheer lack of real world references to familiarize myself with them. And there's no interaction between medieval Europe and the East from my position, so it doesn't really matter what's going on between the horses and the dragons for me. I'm just worried about keeping my religion and culture all within my kingdom. And I guess if there's any further interest or comments from people who decide to see this and want to see more, let me know. I'm not going to tell you to do any of the YouTube buttons because you probably know or you might not care. But if you want to see more, this channel's going to need to see some of those, but forget it. I will close this now, and maybe if I get some more, or maybe a new campaign, I'll load that up. So, see you later.